The big development in European banking took place in Sweden yesterday with the announcement that Nordea is moving its headquarters to Helsinki. Do you see this possibly as a precedent for banks playing regulators against each other? You know, you pick a headquarters according to where the regulatory environment is more accommodating.
Well, I wouldn't think so. This is less driven by regulatory arbitrage considerations, but by business model considerations of that particular bank. But fundamentally, we don't comment individual banks anyway. Generally speaking, yes, indeed, consolidation is a fact of life in the European banking market. It happens all the time, particularly amongst smaller and very small banks, particularly my country, which is still the most fragmented banking market anywhere in Europe. So, and since Nordea choose to come back to the ECB supervision, it can't be an arbitrage logic anyway.
So you don't think this is going to open the floodgates when it comes to regulatory arbitrage?
No, not at all. No, I don't think so.
You say you can't comment on specific banks, Mr. Hufeld. If I could just ask you about the case of China conglomerate HNA, which, as we all know, has got a fairly sizable stake in Deutsche Bank. It looks to be interested in Allianz. I mean, do you intend to look at any HNA because of its investment and because of its interest in Allianz?
Well, let's see whether that's materializing in any specific steps to acquire stock in Allianz in the first place. If they do, we have very clear rules. If they acquire more than 10% stake, we would consider that to be a significant holding and introduce quite far-reaching scrutiny with respect to integrity, transparency, and capital equipment and everything else. So in that regard, we have very well-established procedures together with the ECB to take a look at that. But fundamentally, let's just be clear, the European Union and Germany is an open economy. We are benefiting from global trade. We are benefiting from open borders. We welcome foreign capital, and that includes everybody. But we will always, from a supervisory point of view, perform quite intrusive scrutiny on whether or not a particular investor is eligible to take such a stock.